Hi, this is Ruvain Spalter with another Kitah Core Concept video, this time with a lesson about learning how to argue that comes straight out of the Gemara we learned in our lesson this week. We live in a time of absolutes, of I'm right, you're wrong, in politics, in religion, there's my side and then the wrong side. But when we look at the sources, especially the sources from Chazal, we see that that's not the case. Judaism teaches us that things are sometimes very complex and that two sides of an argument, there's not a wrong and a right, but sometimes both sides are correct and both reflect differing values. That's something that we see out of the halacha that comes out of a lesson that we learned in Gemara Berachot this week. In the Gemara that we learned, the Gemara talks about Tfilat HaMincha, and we learned a machloket between the Tanna Kama and Rabbi Yehuda. The Tanna Kama said you could daven Ma'ariv ad ha'erev. We actually learned this chart from Mincha Gedolah, from 6.5 hours into the day until the evening, until nighttime. Whereas Rabbi Yehuda said, no, you only had until what's called Plag Mincha, 4:45 p.m., like 10 3/4 hours. That's the machloket in the Mishnah. And the Gemara wanted to know, this is the Gemara on Daf Chav Zayin. We're going to start here. The Gemara wanted to know, okay, what's the rule? What's the halacha? So the Gemara says, Hashta, now, Delo itmar hilchata. We don't have a tradition about that halacha follows lo kemar v'lo kemar. We don't have a tradition that it follows neither the Tanna Kama or Rabbi Yehuda. De avad kemar, avad. Udi avad kemar, avad. If one follows the position of mar, the first opinion, avad, he did it. Udi avad kemar, avad. Meaning, a person has the ability to now, in this case, choose which position he wants to follow. Either reciting mincha until the evening, or reciting mincha until plag mincha, and that means you can recite arvit afterwards. Literally, there's no right or wrong. Wait, when is nightfall? Is nightfall in the evening, like the Chachamim, or is nightfall plag mincha, like Rabbi Yehuda? The answer is, both positions have validity. Both positions are correct. This lesson is something that's so important for us to teach our children, that when people argue and they bring two perspectives, very often there isn't a right or a wrong. There's a side here and a side there, and both have perspectives that need to be listened to, need to be adhered to. In the words of Chazal, in the words of Pirkei Avot, that's what we call a machloket l'shem shamayim, an argument for the sake of heaven. The rabbis tell us that's sofa lehitkayem. The machloket will endure because both sides are right. And we have to teach our children that when both sides are arguing l'shem shamayim, when Rabbi Yehuda and the Chachamim are arguing about arvit, one is not right and one is not wrong. And that in Judaism, very often you have two sides in an argument and both sides are passionate. And both sides are also correct. There isn't a right or a wrong. And that's something that all of us should learn and understand when we're learning about Judaism and even about life in general. Make it a great week. To learn more about bringing Kitah learning to your children or to our families in your community, visit kitah.org/home+. Make it a great day.